Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Parker Wild here from Private Label Accelerator, and this video is going to be about what makes Amazon sellers successful slash unsuccessful, right? One of the big questions that I always get asked by new students is, Parker, what can I do to ensure that I see success with Amazon? I'll get questions like, what are the things that differentiate your successful from unsuccessful students? So on and so forth. And so I want to cover that in this video, and I think I've probably made this video in the past or whatnot, but I think that this is just like super important information to give out. And I've come up with 5 of what I believe to be the most important things. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't other important factors out there. I'm sure if you go onto YouTube, Instagram, you'll see other people sharing what they feel are their 5 to 10 whatever top or most important attributes of a successful or unsuccessful seller. But without further ado, let's dive in. So I've narrowed it down to 5, and these aren't ranked from most or least, or from most to least important or least to most important. They're not in order by any means. They're just kind of what came to my mind, and I don't want this to be an overly long video, because I know that attention spans are short, but it is a very, very, very important video. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the number 1 thing on my list, not most important, but just the first thing, comes down to mindset. And I think a lot of people who start an Amazon FBA business have never done anything entrepreneurial in their life before, and so this is kind of their first hurrah, right? And so when you first do something in life, there's typically a lot of fear. There's typically a lot of disbelief. Like, can I really do this? I'm scared I might lose money. And that leads, to a lot of inaction. It leads to failure. It leads to problems. You need to have that belief that you can and will be successful. It is so vital to have that, and all of these attributes kind of come together in one big thing. So I might say, I might actually bring up a lot of these attributes now and talk more about them later. But a lot of people just lack the vision. They don't have the mindset. They don't have the mentality that they can accomplish their goals. They're nervous to get out of their comfort zones, right? Because self-improvement is hard. It requires work. It requires change. And if you aren't willing to put in the work to change, to accomplish your goals, then guess what? You're not going to be able to, meet your goals, right? So I would say the number 1 thing is mindset, right? An entrepreneur has to have, an entrepreneurial mindset, or else they cannot accomplish their goals. Okay, so let's move on to number 2. Number 2, I would say, is inaction. One of the big questions that I always get asked when I have a new student in the course, or a new student looking to join, the Private Label Accelerator program, or just wanting to talk to me about Amazon FBA is, what is the success rate of your course, of your program? And to be honest, that's just not a valid question, right? The real question should be, what is the success rate of the students who have completed your course and then taken action? Right? Because I'm sure you can talk to anyone else out there who sells a course, does consulting, whatever, mentoring. You can take a horse, to the water or to the well, whatever the stupid saying is, but you can't make them drink, right? I can provide you with the information that you need in order to be successful, but if you don't act on it, then whose fault is it? Right? Is it the program's fault, or is it the individual's fault because they've perhaps, just given up, lost interest? It was never that big of a priority, right? What you do with what you learn is what is most important, right? Learning without acting on it is never ever going to get you anywhere. So, there's the common analysis paralysis saying that people give. And a lot of times what will happen is, because you're a new student or a new individual to Amazon FBA and you have fear, because you've never done something like this before, you'll spend so much time analyzing things because you're nervous and you're scared, you don't want to mess up. And because you spend so much time, you never even get anywhere, right? It's so much more important to take action because guess what? The reality is business is messy. Every single business you'll ever start in life or ever do, things are going to be messy, right? And that's why mindset comes into place. You have to be able to overcome your messiness. You have to be able to, get through the hard times to get to the good times type deal. And a lot of inaction just comes from comfort zone, and I kind of talked about that in mindset. But individuals that are successful are willing to go outside of their comfort zone and make changes to the way they go about things in order to achieve their goals. So, number one was mindset. Number two is inaction. There's this great saying that I learned from a mentor a while ago that said, imperfect action will always beat perfect inaction, right? So just kind of think about that, right? As long as you're making strides and actually doing things, right, you're getting that much closer to accomplishing your goals. So again, don't be a perfectionist, because in business, nothing is ever perfect, regardless of how much time, energy, thought you put into it. Number three, I put down bad strategy or not willing to put in the work / use proper resources. If you're an individual that wants to try and do this on your own, go for it. But guess what? You don't have the right strategies. You don't have everything you need in order to be successful. The internet is great. Do not get me wrong. There is so much valuable information on YouTube, on Reddit, on Facebook, on Google, on Instagram, all over the place. However, it's not all organized and put together with 100% tactics and proven strategies, right? YouTube is great at giving you bits and pieces and feeding you to ultimately go elsewhere, right? Let's just be real. I'm not going to lie to you. Go watch any individual, including myself, right? I make these videos to provide content in hopes that we can work together and I can help you build a business. I don't just make videos because I'm bored and have nothing to do, right? Absolutely not. And if anyone tells you that, they're lying to you. But the reality is that, and I apologize for saying the reality is, that's my saying and I need to stop it. But people don't know how to find a good product. And if you don't know how to find a good product to be able to sell, then you won't be able to sell and make money. A lot of people are just not willing to put in the proper work. So let's say you are a part of a program and you do have a question. You don't take the time to be resourceful and go browse the web, YouTube, all of those platforms that I mentioned before to find your answer. There is a lot of good stuff out there. Be resourceful. It's so important. Again, and I've been doing this. I've been working with people for the past 2.5, 3 years, helping build their businesses. And this is what I'm saying. These are my top things that I have seen over time. So again, number three was they don't have the correct strategy, right? They're not willing to put in the work or use proper resources. A lot of this is for people who aren't willing to invest in a program / mentorship and try to do it on their own. But even then, people that are willing to invest in a mentorship program or whatnot, they believe that they're supposed to be handheld the entire time. And that's just not true, right? Everyone's journey in any business is always going to be different. So you're going to need to do your part, go the extra mile to find information that, or find answers to questions and problems that may come your way. Okay, let's move on to number four. Number four is time management. And I would say this is a huge one. Very, 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 very big. The successful students have time management. The unsuccessful ones do not. A lot of it comes down to prioritizing what matters most to you, right? I've got my schedule here on the other screen. I know exactly what I'm doing, every single day. I've got it all planned out. And I know what I need to get done in order to achieve my goals. Whereas there are many people that kind of just wander aimlessly through the day and not achieving anything, not working on things, not building things. And then they'll give the excuse like, oh, I just don't have time. I was so busy, right? If you prioritize correctly, you will always have time for what matters. Everything just comes down to priorities. A lot of successful individuals have schedules put out, right? They know exactly what needs to be done for the day. They put away distractions, get away from the instant gratification of, scrolling on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook 24/7. Right? They're focused. They manage their time well, and they know what they need to do. So again, I would say number 4 is time management. The last thing that I would say has to do with having a vision and having proper goals. You will go read any entrepreneurial article, go listen to any entrepreneurial podcast. Guarantee you they will talk so much about having a vision and having written down goals. This is very, very, very important. It helps people stay accountable. I have students who are doing 5-6 figures every single month, like clockwork, and it all started because they wrote down their goals, they held themselves accountable, and they had the vision, right? When times got tough, did they just call it a day and quit? Did they stop? Or did they say, you know what? I'm going to keep rolling my profits. I'm going to keep getting reviews. I'm going to build variations. I'm going to get better images. I'm going to figure this out because I know 6 months to a year from now, when I'm profiting and making more than my job, it'll all be worth it, right? So a lot of people just have a very, very short-term vision. They have that, instant gratification type deal, where if it doesn't happen now, they want those quick results, right? If it doesn't happen, within a couple weeks from now, it must not work. It must not be good. That is just not how things work, right? Everything good in life requires time, patience, and action. So to go back, I would say my 5 things were mindset, inaction or taking action, right? Having a correct strategy and being willing to put in the work. That's 3. 4, proper time management. And 5, having goals and vision and having a vision. Like I said at the beginning, there are so many things that go into being successful. From what I feel, these are what I feel are the most successful ones. Obviously my successful students strive to work on these daily. Successful individuals in life strive to work on these daily, and unsuccessful ones do the opposite. Everyone thinks, perhaps not everyone, but a lot of people think that success derives around what program or course or mentor you have. And while that is very important because those people hold the keys to the strategy, and it will allow you to save a lot of money and a lot of time, they're not everything, right? I as a mentor, coach, friend, teacher, whatever you want to call me, can only do so much for you. But at the end of the day, you kind of have to meet me halfway. You have to meet your mentor, coach, program, strategy halfway and actually do it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that a lot of people have requested and asked me these things. And it's nice to be able to make this video and hopefully refer back to it. But if you guys have any questions about Amazon FBA, feel free to comment below. I will answer them. Feel free to give me a follow and a subscribe on my YouTube channel and my Instagram, Private Label Accelerator, and my YouTube is just Parker Wild. I'm trying to release more content because I want to help. I want to build value for you guys, and make sure that you are making informed decisions before you get yourself into Amazon FBA. It's changed my life. It's changed many of my students' lives, and it will change yours if you implement these things. I promise you that. So again, feel free to comment, feel free to like, share it with people. I will let you know that I offer a $1,000 referral bonus for anyone that you refer to the program. This is me trying to give you money to build your own Amazon FBA business. Again, I hope that I can keep producing valuable content for you guys.